Hey, I'm Bronson, and in this video, I'm going to cover the Flesh and Blood reprint philosophy, or the Legend Story Studio philosophy for reprints. I will first go over the exact words on their website to explain exactly what they're saying, and I will dissect it and try to make sense of it. Look past what the words say and really see what it means. So let's look at the first paragraph. So we believe the secondary card market is the trading and trading card game. Yeah, makes sense. You're trading things of value. Our goal is to make Flesh and Blood an all-time classic trading card game, which is why we respect the secondary card market in all our decision making. Okay, so starting off pretty strong. I like it. So essentially, they are admitting that they know about the secondary market and they understand that cards need to have value in order to be a true trading card game like TCG. Okay, I like the start. Okay. We want single card resellers who invest in Flesh and Blood inventory to prosper from their investment and service they provide to the Flesh and Blood community. Oh, that's good. So they like when people invest in their product. That's nice to see. We want players who invest in building their collections to be proud to own something of value. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, so far so good. They're acknowledging that when you purchase their product, it can also be an investable thing where it has monetary value. Okay, and they want that. It's good to see. I like it so far. Flesh and Blood has been designed from the ground up to be a tournament TCG with a non-rotating card pool. So non-rotating card pool, that means the cards that are all produced will always be relevant to any format. So, I mean, that's pretty ambitious within itself. Uh, yeah, I mean, they're probably gonna have a ban list and stuff like that, but overall, good thing to see. That they always want cards to be relevant, which is helpful. It's nice that you don't have every couple of years there's a new flavor of the month. Like I'm sure this is targeting Magic the Gathering and saying, hey, like I see how you have your constructed play is only the last three sets. So, which sucks because all your cards, previously purchased from Magic the Gathering are now useless in in this, the main format. So I can definitely see that they're poking at that and they're like, hey, like, we're going to be different. We're going to make it so all of our cards are always relevant. So I think it's a little ambitious, but I do like it. Okay, now I'm going to continue reading. Our product and format design aims to provide fans with long-term unity of their collections, enables a dynamic tournament metagame, and create a vibrant secondary card market. So they're basically saying the way they design the card game enables them to do everything Afro said, create a great tournament play, but also have the cards contain value. Okay. Again, ambitious, but I wouldn't put them past. I wouldn't put this past them. So I'll continue. As the number of Flesh and Blood players grow around the world, it will be necessary to reprint cards to support new player accessibility to tournament play. When deciding to reprint a card, careful consideration will be made to the effect the reprint will have on the secondary card market and the amount of new demand that exists since the card's last printing. Okay. Uh, I, I don't know where, like LSS. I love you guys, but that last sentence is kind of like a get out of jail free card. It's saying, yeah, we're gonna definitely look at the card market, but we need everyone to be able to play the game. And I mean, I think the perfect word for this really is a duality, and I might make a separate video for this. But for any trading card game to succeed, I think it does need two different parts. You need some value aspects. So you have cards that are worth money where not everyone can afford. So you have that aspect where only a certain amount of the market is able to purchase those cards, and cards are sought after and they have value because they are limited in supply and they are hard to get. But on the other hand, you have to make it accessible. You have to make all your cards able to be played because it just gets more people involved. It makes people like feel like they can have accessibility to the game without shelling out too much money. But what you'll notice is the duality between those two things don't collide. there's there's just yeah, to point it flank, they're completely different. So Legend Story Studios is saying that they're going to try to do both, and they're also looking at the secondary market. From what they've done so far, and this is a relatively new trading card game that has its feet on the ground. They're doing great. They're gaining traction, and I feel like they are going to succeed. But it does scare me that they are going to reprint certain cards. For instance, the what is it? The Fandale's Heart card. It's our Heart of Fandale, the one where you pitch 3, you gain a life if you have a life your life total is lower than your opponent. That card, for instance, it's rumored to be having only a print run of 550. It's equivalent to the Black Lotus of Magic the Gathering and rarity, and people have really rallied behind that card. Imagine in 5 years if that card became really popular in as a meta game in the tournament play. What is LSS going to do? Are they going to start printing all tons of hearts for everyone to play with, and oh well, this one has like a brown border or something? I don't think that's gonna fly. I think that is really gonna tank the value of these things. And even if they make it a majestic or something like that, it's just gonna be way overprinted, and it's just gonna be tough. I feel strongly that there needs to be cards that can't be reprinted. There needs to be cards where it's hard to get, and if you're at the front lines, then you got them. If you're a founder and you got them. If you weren't, you can't have them. But to that effect, I feel like you can create new cards that have a very similar ability. Like they could create a Heart of Fandale that does the same thing essentially. Like pitch 3 and you gain 1 health if you meet this other requirement that's a little bit harder to get to, but that's perfectly reasonable. And then you have, or actually, you know what? Take that back. Make it even better. Make it even better. Make a better card than Heart of Fandale. That's fine. Guess what? At least you'll have a card that was originally printed, right? That only so many people got their hands on, and the collectors will flock to that card. Even if there's a better card in production, at least you'll have that limited supply. It's not like ideal. It's better to have like a really good cards in the beginning so that they maintain value long term. But I'm just very scared about the reprints of this TCG and what it's going to have an effect on the secondary market. Because I feel like a lot of the player base is people who are trying to invest in the product from the ground floor, people who are trying to like they think there's value in this card game, and there is. But if things get overprinted, it's gonna go really south. It's gonna have to go super south. But that's the reprint philosophy in a nutshell. I ran it a little at the end there, but to sum it up, Legend Story Studios believes that you know a strong secondary market is important, but they also believe that getting the cards to the players who want to play in tournaments is also important, and they're going to look at both of these things what is it, simultaneously. How it's going to turn out, I guess we'll see, and we'll see if the philosophy changes, and I'll make an update video. But other than that, that's what it is. Pretty big gray area. Pretty big pretty big room for them to do whatever they want. But I think it's a really good. I will say this: it is a good place to be at the moment for them in their history, because they can really go. They have the ability to go any way that they want. They haven't set anything in the stone. I feel like when you're a company and you promise your players things and you promise things, you have to deliver. And if you go back on your promise, it looks really bad. So essentially what they're telling you is, hey, we are smart, we understand how this stuff works, and we're going to do the best that we can. And that's all you can ask, or that's all you can ask of a company. And I think that even though it is a big gray area, and even though it's a little concerning, I think they got it. Thanks for watching.